So I'm trying something out here. This is the introduction. 7 minutes of human. Where do I start? As I reflect and count down to 5 days away from chapter 36. I've been thinking a lot about, life, right? How we find our way working through it, through the lessons that we learn or not, through the people that we connect to or not. We find our way. And as I think about approaching chapter 36, there's so many levels to that. On this road to embracing my humanity. Me, Shantae J Edwards. It's funny. I remember when I did not like to say my middle name. I'm from Chicago. And there is a grocery store by the name of Jewel Osco. And they had a song, Jewel Osco working together. Yeah, people are mean. And I remember not wanting to own that name, let alone share it. I think it's like maybe post-college, I decided to start putting my middle initial because there was something powerful with it. Although the power really in my name, my middle name, comes from my uncle Jewel, who was named after my great-grandfather, my grandmother's mother, brother, father. Jeez. Human, right? Bloopers will exist because that's life. Life isn't really about trying to make it perfect. And that's what I've been learning. So this introduction of me is really an opportunity to start documenting so many things that I have in my brain, that I have in my heart, and in my soul. As a speaker, a professor, an educator, a sneaker lover, a frame lover, a hat lover, a gadget lover, anything nice lover. And I'm a lover, not a fighter. I find that this has been the year, this chapter of 35, of me truly embracing Shantae J Edwards, aka Sean, which is my childhood nickname, but for some reason has followed me as a grown-up. And I embrace it because I like it. And then there's Tay, because Sean, Tay. Tay really developed in high school. I felt cool when my friends would be like, Tay. I was like, okay, we got something there. And then there's Tay Boo. Tay spelled T-A-E and then T-A-Y, but I digress. But I think about this part, right? This introduction. The idea around 7 minutes of human is connected to that number 7. For those of you who don't know, 7 is very powerful. My mother, Marlene Edwards, had 7 children. Her name, Marlene Edwards, 7 and 7. She didn't have a middle name. And on December 7th, 2013, around 7, she passed away. And I know that time frame because I remember feeling her pass away. A lot of people, if you've heard me tell the story about life and living life, when I talk about my mother, Marlene Edwards, it's with pride. I am because she was. And even that's hard to say. This idea about humanity and living life and being a part of life. Random. NPR is starting this segment called Chasing Life in honor of us healing from the global pandemic that we're still in, by the way. And when I heard them mention this segment, I thought to myself, chasing life. That is true. When I think about 35 and I think about my mother's transition 7.5 years ago, life. The part about living on purpose, living in purpose, there's so much pressure. But what if you were to choose the narrative, right? Like, be you, period. It's been 5 years. May 21st, 2016. I took the stage at TEDx Herndon in Virginia. And I shared this concept of you are enough, comma, right now. And honestly, when I think about that part in my life, I was going through so much. And it's that part when you start reflecting on what you have been through to be where you are now. No, seriously, think about it. A year ago, where were you? What were you doing? And where are you now? And I know I'm kind of jumping from one thing to another because the idea about this 7 minutes of human moving forward, there will be different topics. This one, the introduction, is just me talking. Because that's what I do. As a speaker, the intent is to support the narrative of you. As a professor, the intent is to create safe spaces for my students, to support them in both subjects that I teach, from social impact to public speaking and effective communication. It's the intent of that safe space that has existed in my life as an educator. In living life on purpose, with purpose. The idea of aligning oneself. And that's what I'm feeling as I approach chapter 36. I'm feeling this alignment, this space of transformation. And so 7 minutes of human moving forward, the concept will be 7-minute videos. This one, of course, will go a little longer. So if you're still here, shout out to you. This is also a dedication, again, to the documentation, to the intention, to the what am I not willing to die with question. That when I pose it seems rhetorical, but I'm really asking you, what are you not willing to die with? How are you living your legacy? Creating the memories, those, moments and experiences. And not to look at it as being afraid because these memories are happening, but really taking the time to just be present while documenting, which takes me back to my mama. Because in 2013, her choice to turn a fear into a dream and make it a reality and fly to visit me for 4 days, her number one, or the oldest of 7. And for us to have that time, God knew. He knew I needed it in order to be here today, to find the strength, to find the balance, to find the moment. What moments do you have where it's like, yo, there was something bigger than me in whatever you believe in that supported you in a way where when you reflect, you're like, man, if this didn't happen and this didn't happen, then this wouldn't have happened. And it's in that reflection, though, that I encourage you to sit. Another thing of learning as I am present in chapter 35 is this space around being present, the stillness. Of course, a lot of us experience so many shifts given the global pandemic, the health crisis that shifted us globally. And we take so much from it, right? And here we are getting ready, or we have been transitioning to what is another normal. Because we can't get back the past. We have to make peace with it. So I ask you, what are you making peace with today? What have you chosen to release and let go? And that's me. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Shantae J. Edwards. And it's been a pleasure holding space with you. To be continued. I love you, beautiful human. Yeah, you are dope. And yes, you do matter.